A man will notice the change in your attitude, but not notice his behaviors that caused it. Like he'll notice if you stop texting first, but not notice that he never initiated it. Or that you don't smile as much as you used to, but not notice he stopped putting in effort to give you reasons to. Or he'll notice that you now got these walls built up, but then forget he laid every brick with his disrespect. Or he'll notice that you're now withdrawing your energy, but not notice he drained it first. Ain't it funny how that works? Like a man will swear up and down that a woman changed overnight, not realizing he's been changing her for months. Because in what world does a woman continue to show the utmost respect for a man while he continues to show the utmost audacity in treating her like she's average? That's like overdrafting your bank account, then writing the check for money you know you didn't put in, then playing victim when the check bounces. It's not that the bank changed, you're just committing fraud. And it ain't like he blind, like he can't see what he did. But admitting that would require accountability he's not willing to give. So fellas, before you tell that girl she's not the same anymore, just keep in mind, neither is the man you pretended to be in the beginning. The same girl that's the easiest to take for granted is also the hardest to replace, because consistency isn't appreciated until it becomes a memory. What I mean is, she's not keeping score of every little thing that she does for you because she operates from empathy, not expectation. She's not checking over your shoulder 24/7 to see if you're doing something wrong because she knows what's done in the dark is going to come to light. And she's not about to go out her way making you feel threatened by other men, because if she ever leaves, she's going to leave you for herself, not for someone else. So it's easy to take her for granted if you mistake her reliability with replaceability, but it's difficult to actually replace her. A woman that wanted you for you, not just what you could do. Which makes it all the more ironic that this woman that didn't need to be chased tends to be the very one that men try to run back to once she finally walks away. Because while she was ready to give you multiple chances to get it right, a lot of women will leave you at the first sign of trouble. They're not waiting on a third strike. Or while she does what she can to anticipate your needs, a lot of women will ignore your well-being until it's something that they need from you. And if you're not smart, it won't hit you until it's too late that the very woman you treated like background music is the exact same song you can't get out of your head until she stops playing. So if you got a real one in your corner now, please wake up and realize that the same woman that loves you without condition can also leave you without hesitation if you prove you're not ready for her. What you won't do, another man will. But more importantly, what you consistently do, no other man will have the chance to. Like if you're consistently holding space for her, without judgment and without her having to split your attention with anything else, no other man can take your spot. Or if you're consistently reassuring her, leaving no room for doubt about what you're doing when she's not around, no man can wreck your home. Because for a good woman, the real home wrecker is neglect, inconsistency, disrespect. Not a man with more than you, because there's always going to be a man who can buy her nicer things or looks better on paper. But there's never a replacement for a man who gets up every single day and earns her love even after she's already given it to him. Contrary to what you might see on social media, real women are not thirsty for just any man's attention, but they do gravitate towards appreciation. So your only job is to make sure it's coming from you, and her loyalty is going to do the rest. Now, the only room a man could potentially find in your relationship is going to be in the gap between what you promise and what you practice. Not by you being flawed or by making one mistake, but by you repeating it until she became numb. And not because the man at work offered her flowers, but because she's been waiting for years for you to surprise her with them. Meanwhile, watching you splurge on all the things you like, while the things she deserves becomes a financial sacrifice. Like that's the truth a lot of y'all don't want to admit. Why y'all be pressuring these women to go over and beyond to prove they ain't going nowhere? It's not because she's doing anything wrong. It's because you know she deserves better. You know you're not worried about your competition. You're worried about your consequences. You're not protecting your relationship. You're projecting your guilt. You only fear the opportunities other men have because of the overlooked responsibilities you're still ignoring. Like, keep it 100, man. The real threat to your relationship isn't some dude waiting to slide in. It's already settled in through your complacency. But it's up to you. You can either be so consistent that comparison becomes impossible, or keep being so inconsistent that replacement becomes inevitable. Sometimes you gotta let a man who was never on your level to begin with go back to what he's used to. Because losing a man who couldn't properly love you isn't a loss, it's alignment. Like with you, he lied to you once, and you refuse to believe anything he said from that point forward without proof. But with another girl, he'll lie to her 100 times and she'll turn a blind eye because she needs a little help with the bills. So let her have him. And he wanted you to be loyal while he acted single. Then play victim whenever you went no contact so he can go back to the streets he wanted so badly. But she will gladly stay in his rotation while answering to him about every move she makes because she's afraid of being alone. let her have him. And he was willing to lose you rather than fix the situation. But she was willing to pretend the situation never happened, beg him to stay, even though she knew that he was dead wrong. Yeah, they belong together. And don't feel bad about letting him go because he didn't give you any reason to stay nor make any effort to keep you. Like, you can't put a pig in a 5-star restaurant, then get surprised when it doesn't have table manners. Like, the smart thing is to just take it back to the pig pen where it belongs. And that's not even to be mean, but all of that sabotage he did to the relationship, all of that taking you for granted, was really him just missing his natural habitat. You wanted to build something special over the long term. But he's used to taking relationship breaks anytime he gets tired of pretending he's faithful. And you wanted a deep connection, but he's used to dysregulating his woman's central nervous system. And maybe that's fine for him to do with some other woman who doesn't know her worth and doesn't hold him accountable. But as for you, stop trying to train these men to treat you like you matter and just accept whenever he's out of his league to begin with. Like, if your standards are just too high, don't hold your breath for him to change. Release him so he can find happiness at an altitude where he can breathe more easily. Remember, while she begging you to act right, there's another man begging her to let him try. You over there playing with the woman that you got, while there's another dude praying that he gets one exactly like her. And she won't even entertain him, which may be why you've gotten so comfortable. But that complacency could turn into a vacancy real quick. Then his prayers are going to get answered while your calls to get her back get ignored. Because you should never mistake a woman's loyalty with an inability to leave. And don't feel like her persistence to build a life with you is some type of proof she can't live without you. Again, it's not that she has you competing with other men. In fact, your only opponent is how much better she can do on her own. But if you think you can sleep on a once-in-a-lifetime woman and no other man is going to want her, you in for a rude awakening. And I know she done forgave you several times, but every good girl has her breaking point. Every tear that she sheds about the way that you treat her is just watering the seeds of her detachment. And every frustration she feels about the promises you don't keep is just fertilizing the acceptance that you don't have what it takes to keep her. Yes, every relationship has its rough patches, but your patterns of leaving her hanging is only teaching her to live without you. So don't feel like just because your woman loves deeply, she can't leave you permanently. In fact, the heart that fights the hardest to make things work tends to be the hardest to reach when it realizes it was fighting alone from the beginning.